I'll take you to the Volta region pretty shortly, where my colleague Maxwell Agbagba will be joining us from Keti South on the situation there, because we know that they've started exhuming bodies as well because of the tidal wave situation. We'll be hearing from the regional minister as well on the devastation that was being caused by the waves, amongst others. More than 1,000 people have been forced out of their homes due to flooding from the waves there. So this afternoon, we are live from Keta, where my colleague Maxwell Agbagba has been interacting with residents all day. He's been there for us. Maxwell Agbagba will join me shortly on the phone. Okay, thankfully, we have Maxwell Agbagba joining us from the Ketu South municipality. Maxwell, you've been touring a number of areas in that municipality today. First off, paint a picture to us about the situation as you've witnessed it.
Well, M.A is devastation here in the Ketu South municipality. A lot of households still reeling under the high tides that they experienced here in this community yesterday dawn. I'm told by residents that this happened sometime around 1 a.m. when they were all sleeping. Now, the worrying thing about this high tides, perennial high tides, is that a lot of essential social amenities here in this community are gradually being submerged under the deep blue sea right behind me. And very soon, I'll be showing you some evidence of that. In fact, the road that links to Keta here in this community has started experiencing some kind of deterioration because of the perennial tidal flooding of that particular stretch. Now, earlier in the day, when we came here, we were in Salakope, where we met a man who was digging a grave at the community's cemetery. He told us that part of the community cemetery is also gradually being submerged under the ocean. So what he's doing is that he's relocating some of the skulls of loved ones that they buried very close to the ocean. He tells me, though, that in previous years, the ocean was very far away from them. Where I'm standing currently, there were a lot of buildings here, but all of them submerged under this sand here, some of them in the ocean itself. Now, I'm currently at the Amutinu community, and the community school here itself is also getting its fair share of the devastation being caused by the high tides here in this part of the country. Now, I just want to give you a sense of what the distance between the ocean, the deep blue sea right now, and the school building. Now, this is the school building. It's just about 20 meters away from the ocean. You can just reach the school. Previously, I'm told that previously there were a lot of structures here that separated this school from the ocean. But now, the students, when they are studying, the pupils, when they are studying, when they are in there, they can have a good view of the ocean. You've seen some of them there. Let's try and see if we can interact with some of them who were actually seated outside here studying. They've seen our cameras, so they are trying to enter. Hello, can we speak to you? Let's get closer and talk to them. So this is the Amutinu M.A basic school. People who've been speaking to tell me that this school used to be far, far, far away from the ocean, but now it's under threats of being submerged under the sea. Let's speak to, hi, what's your name?
Right.
How far was the sea, was your school from the sea previously?
The sea, first time the sea, the distance between the sea is very far. By this time, the sea is closer to us. Sometimes the sea can even come here, then we can flow through this area, then sometimes disturb our knowledge. We can't even learn.
Oh, wait. So the ocean is causing a lot of distraction in terms of studies here.
Yes, sir.
So sometimes it enters your classrooms?
Sometimes it doesn't enter the classroom, but the way the sea comes closer to our classroom, yeah. Last time if it hit the wall, then it started driving or fetching the sounds away from here.
Okay. Okay. So how are you able to pay attention when you are in class? Because sometimes, we've been hearing the noise from the wave and all of that. How are you able to focus in class?
And we can't even focus to learn because the way the sea is coming to hit the wall.
It hits the wall?
Yeah, it hits the wall,
Okay.
and the sun is always disturbing us every day.
Okay, okay. Which form are you?
I'm Form 3.
Form 3, final year.
Yeah.
Look into the camera. What do you want to tell authorities to do? Because your school is now is gradually going to be under the water, under the sea. And this school, if you don't take time, it's going to be normal. What do you want to tell government?
Simple, but I'm in final year, but our juniors are here, so I mean the government must hurry up and defend the sea for us so that our juniors can also have a peace of mind to learn.
Okay, okay. What's your name?
My name is Swajere Bright.
Okay, wishing you all the best in your final exams, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so you had him, MFI, he talked about how the high tide sometimes hit the school building. Now you can see visible cracks already in this structure. I'm told that this building used to be quite taller, you know, and there was no way I was going to be able to reach the height of this school building. But now, because of the high tides and because the ocean is drawing closer, now it's very easy for me to even touch the ceiling here. And even these windows are coming down. I mean, let's speak to the assembly member for this area. He's also here. He's quite concerned about what is happening in this community. The only community school here is facing an imminent threat from the ocean. Sir, you're welcome to JoyNews.
Thank you.
I was asking him how far the school building was from the ocean, and he's telling me that it used to be very, very far. Can you paint a picture for us?
Indeed, for this year alone, the school building, the distance between the school building and then the ocean could be about 200 meters. That is the distance for just this year. But because of the tidal wave effect, it has really impacted and has drawn the sea closer to the building. As you can see, you realize that now it's less than 50 meters for this building to be washed away. Yeah. This school has been here for the past 30 years, and this is the only school that holds the two communities, Amutinu M.A, together. And this is where the school children attend school.
This is the only school for the two communities?
This is the only school for the two communities. And we are now facing an imminent threat because if the sea, nothing is done to protect the sea from getting closer to this building, it means that it will eventually take over the building and there will not be any school for the community. Now, as we speak, the impact of the tidal waves on the various houses has affected enrollment in the school. We used to have about 800 plus children attending this school. But because of the tidal waves, the impact of the distraction on their on livelihood, the children are unable to come to school. And so you realize now when you go to school, we have about 400 plus students at the school now. So our appeal to the President of the Republic of Ghana, as you can see now, you realize that the sea has naturally reclaimed the land. Yeah. If you were to be here yesterday, you would realize that the sea was even hitting the building.
Hitting the school building?
Hitting the school building. Whoa. Although it has reclaimed it naturally today, it's still not enough solution. We are pleading on the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, that this has become a national threat. I say it is a national threat basically because when nothing is done, like the sea defense project that was stalled, if nothing is done to extend it from here to Aflao, what will happen is that if the sea eventually takes over the main road that connects Aflao to Keta, it's going to trickle down to the lagoon side and eventually affect the main road that connects Aflao to Accra. Now, let me tell you this. Aflao border is one of the highest revenue generation points to the Republic of Ghana. And so if any activity that has to halt economic activity at the border, it means therefore that the nation is going to also lose. And so this is an emergency call that is impacting negatively on livelihood and on life.
So for the long-term solution, this is a perennial problem. We need a final solution to it. What do you think is the solution to this? Is it a sea defense?
The only solution to this perennial problem is the sea defense wall. That was started from Blekusu, Haveji Hovi, and it has stored at part of Agaveji. We need immediate extension of the sea defense wall from here to Aplao border. That is the only solution to this problem.
Well, we were talking earlier. Let's walk to the other side of this structure. And you were telling me that previously you had a lot of buildings here. Sure. Of course, we can see that building. The owner has left this building because of the high tides. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, the coconut stump that you see there, it was in the middle of a building. Yes, it was in the middle of a building, and I think last 2 months, the sea washed those buildings away. Okay. So the people have left. They are perching with families. Others sleep by the roadside. Okay. Some are also perching in the chapels at Salakope. And so this is a heartbreaking situation at Amutinu Salakope as we speak.
Well, many times I was speaking to Jumado Kwesi Bedra, who is the chairman for the Voter MP caucus, and he was telling me that many times they've brought this to the attention of government, but it seems that nothing has been done about the situation. Do you have any hope that there will be a final solution to this? In fact, I want a camera technician to show this. Now, this is how desperate some of the people are getting to save their properties. Now, this is not a sea defense. No, it is not. This was done by the residents. This is a desperate attempt to save their property, their residential property. And this mirrors what many of the residents, are facing as it stands now. And this also mirrors the desperate situation for many of them and what they are doing to salvage their properties. I've been speaking to the Member of Parliament for Ketu South, Ablajifa Gomashi, and she has been talking about urgent government intervention. She says they need urgent government interventions to save this community, to save the roads, the schools, and other social amenities of this community. We can listen to her. Well, social amenities here in the Ketu South constituency, many of them under threat, some of them already submerged under the ocean. Now the Amutinu M.A Basic School, which is right here, is also one of the critical infrastructure currently under threat as a result of the violent tidal waves that keep pounding this community dotted along the coast here in the Ketu South constituency. We're lucky to have with us the Member of Parliament for the area, Ablajifa Gomashi. She's here with us. We're going to interact with her and find out from her what the situation is like here in this constituency. Honorable, welcome to JoyNews.
Thank you very much.
Great. Now, we're standing very close to the Amutinu M.A Basic School, and it looks like it is the next structure that is going to go. If there's no intervention, there's going to be the next structure that's going to go. There's no building that separates, this school from the roaring tidal waves now.
You are talking about 20 or so steps to the school. Yeah. If you say close is relative. True. But physically, about 20 steps away in the school. Yeah. And that's how close the sea has come to the facility. Now, if you look at what it is, and we are not able to improve upon it, to lose it, the thought alone makes my heart just shudder. I cringe when I think about it, that this is all they have. And if the sea should take it away, imagine, not too long ago, I think it was in May, I did indicate, and I'm sure if you go into your archives, you'll find this, that the next time the sea strikes, it will take the road. We saw it only 3 days ago and 2 days ago. So I'm saying to His Excellency the President, you cannot say you have not heard me. Your Minister for Works and Housing came to the floor of Parliament and answered the question that I filed. He followed up with a visit to the community and made a promise that by the end of the year, we will see the continuation of the sea defense. So you must have heard about this. Why they are not here, I do not know. But I want to remind you, Your Excellency, that it costs more to do the road It will cost a lot more to give us another school. And it will cost a lot more to provide for shelter for the people who are traumatized by the pounding of these waves. It is in our interest as a country to respond now. We should not wait any longer. What's happening is that the land between the sea, the road, and the next community is not as wide as we think.
True.
So once it starts hitting the road, we are about to get into that community as well. It will merge with the lagoon, and we are in trouble. I don't know how else to say this.
There's a sea defense that is some distance away from where we are standing. I spoke to the MC earlier and was telling me that it looks like it is not even providing a solution for the people there, because the violent wave sometimes goes over, will go over the sea defense that they have there into some of the communities.
If we continue, it won't. So let me assure the MC that if we continue with the defense, it will not affect it anymore. It's because that is the end of it.
Yeah.
That is the end of it, and that's why it's happening.
Okay.
If we continue, it will have a lot of room to operate. So let's not say that it's going over. So what? So we should leave it alone. We should leave it alone. This is the only other entry point into Ketu South. If you don't use the Accra-Aflao main road, then this is your alternative. So if there's no alternative, should anything happen on the main road, what are we going to do? I mean, look, from Aflao to Ho, that road can take you about 3 hours because it's that bad. So let's not find excuses not to continue. We must continue this intervention. We have to fix it. And Honorable Asenso came and assured us that it will be done. So I don't even want to entertain that thought that because the end of it is exposing the people to what is happening, then we should fold our arms and throw it up, our hands up in despair.
So for the school, for instance, Touchwood, if the school should collapse, what other options are available for the many children who school here?
How can I have an option when I'm already in trouble asking that the SHS building be completed? And I led the Committee of Education to Togbi Fiti, who added his voice that we must fix the school, complete the school, so the children can benefit from it. What is the alternative? I don't have an alternative. So I am terrified, and I probably will sound like a doom-monger, but it is the reality that when we lose this, then it means that there's nothing else. The borders have remained closed. That's where we get our source of livelihood. Now that it is not opened, the sea is our alternative. The sea is in battle with us. What is there?
So for the time being, for now, what kind of relief are we looking at giving to some of the people who are affected by what happened?
You know, the last time we brought relief here was when His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama and the members of parliament from the Volta region in the NDC came here and brought some rice and some cement. If we ask them now, they won't find a grain of that intervention we brought. What we need is for the people to have access to decent living and for them to fend for themselves. We just need to provide the opportunities for them. We are not a lazy people. I mean, look, I represent the people. Do I look like I'm a lazy woman?
No.
I'm not a lazy woman. We are not lazy. And I don't think that people want to sit down for others to be bringing them an olonka of corn and an olonka of rice and a bottle of oil. Let's fix the sea defense so they can fend for themselves. In the interim, it will be humane. It will be a sign of showing that we care about humanity, that we find a place for them to lay their heads. About over 1,000 people have been affected this time around. I think 1,030 thereabouts.
Colleague Maxwell Agbagba, they're interacting with the MP for Ketu South, Jifa Abla Gomashi. I'll be going back to my colleague shortly for more on this, because we've been interacting with the regional minister, also the MC. Earlier you heard him interact with the assembly member and some students as well.